Welcome back, folks, and we have the owners of South Bay Jewelry, and welcome. It's good to see you both again. I know you've been on before. We have Gina and David. Welcome.
Thank you.
And it's nice to hear you're having a grand reopening, and you brought all kinds of neat things to show. We were talking a little bit about this, and we'll get to all this in just a minute. But this is a neat event you're having coming up this Saturday. And you call it the grand reopening. So you sort of relocated, but still in the same center.
We are so excited. We've been in Oak Brook Village, serving our Laguna Woods residents for 30 years. And so, as you know, Oak Brook Village is renovating. So
yes,
we are the first to move across the parking lot. We're over to the right side of Marshall's, closest to the Laguna Hills Mall.
Okay.
So that's our new location. And we just are inviting our residents to come this Saturday, where we're going to be doing free batteries to the first 20 people. And then we're doing free gifts, raffles every hour, 4 items every hour. There's going to be all kinds of gifts in addition to that. And we just want to spoil our clients. So please come and join us.
That sounds like a lot of fun. And free jewelry cleaning. Maybe I'll bring over my ring to you. Yep. I think it's been, years since it's been cleaned.
Yay, we love it.
But, you do a lot of good things there. And one of the things that you also do is you look at people bring in their estate jewelry, they bring in their gold. They may either want it just to see what it's worth, see what it's about. Maybe this was something that was given to them and they want to get the value of it. And along with that, they may want to realize, well, you know what, we really don't need these gold pieces anymore. We'd rather have the cash that we could get for it. And you do that, don't you, David?
We do, and people don't realize that there's so many things they can do with their jewelry. For example, a lot of ladies have pieces they don't like or they're out of style. Well, rather than just sell it for the gold, you can rework it, you can redesign it into something you do like. And there's simple little things you can do, like let's say you want white gold and it's yellow gold. We can rhodium plate it. Every single piece of white gold jewelry is rhodium plated.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's something we do.
That's very interesting. Yeah, I just thought it was white gold. I didn't realize.
Well, it is, but it's rhodium.
Yeah, I didn't realize how they do that. Well, you brought in some really interesting pieces here. And I was mentioning to you before we went on, you brought in a nice silver set here that years ago we got. It was really from my dad, but it was his mother's, which goes back to maybe the early 1920 or something like that. Right. A bunch of pieces, and they're all kinds of weird different pieces like sardine servers, and we were trying to figure out what they were. And it's really neat that people have these sets. This is it looks like a beautiful antique set here, but people can bring those in as well, and they can either have you look at them and maybe give a value, or maybe they want to trade them in or turn them in or whatever they might be.
Yes, and what we try to do is we consult with our clients. Not always do we want to take and just automatically scrap their items. We have buyers all over the United States that are especially interested in certain vintage items. So this particular item here is something that we would get a private buyer for. And that's one of the things that we are experts with, being that we're gemologists and appraisers. And we're recommended by attorneys and insurance companies to actually consult with individuals.
Yeah.
So everything's on an individual basis.
These are absolutely beautiful, and I'm trying to tell you, obviously this is either, I don't know if this is hollowware or it's solid.
It's sterling silver.
Oh wow,
so,
this is beautiful.
It's
it
really gorgeous.
Is.
With knives though, the blade is always stainless steel. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense.
It
Even if they were produced years ago.
Exactly.
All right. Also, what you do? Tell me about your program here. You call it your Legacy program.
Correct. The Legacy program we started because a lot of our clientele would come in and they would we would consult with them, and we had either the choice of working with them and coming up with a program where we would go through their treasures, helping them decide what's of value and what maybe they would like to keep for their loved ones. And so we go through, our expertise is to go through their treasures. We find vintage pins and items which they would absolutely not realize that
these
there's
are-
any value. And yet with our education behind us, we have an eyesight for this kind of business. So we really ask our clients to come in, let us do free consultation with them. I go to safety deposit boxes, I go to homes. Our staff is all fully trained, and if at some point we want to take some of these items and redo them, we have a full production on our premise, which would be our designers, and you can see a creation in the back there
Right.
of one of our designs, and then it goes to CAD, and we can make nice things for the children.
This is really neat.
It
Yeah.
does give you a computer-generated image, so it's basically you get a photograph of what your piece is going to look like before we cast it.
Yeah, and that's a great thing. And I had that done years ago. I was telling you when I had an engagement ring made for my wife, and we're able to see exactly what it looks like in 3D. This is obviously hand done and beautiful. I love that kind of work, and the way they just bring out. They use the technique here of bringing out the highlights, the specular highlights, and then from there. You can make it into a 3D image where it looks quite real. There's a little piece here that I'm looking at here, and this looks to be ivory, am I right?
That is ivory. And through our gemological education, we can discern between the ivory.
Turn it this way.
And, when we go through your treasures, we'll be able to help you with that.
So in a sense, you're like a little local Antiques Roadshow, aren't you?
Absolutely. And we
People
plan
can
on-
break things in, and
Yep.
yeah, that is really neat.
And they can come in for cleanings or verbal evaluations anytime. There's no charge for that.
Right.
Well, that's great. And just to be clear, so people know if they knew where you were, it's not like you're moving across town. You're just moving a few steps away from where you were.
The same phone number we've had for the last 30 years, the same name, and we're just in a more exciting neighborhood across the parking lot. They're reopening us up closer to the Laguna Hills Mall, so we have more visibility. And we're just so anxious to have our customers come see us in our new shop.
Now, of course, people can bring stuff in, as you show here, but you also have a full array of jewelry pieces for sale, and
Yes.
so people can just come in. It's not just a place to come in and have your stuff valuated or see if you can sell some gold. You are a full jewelry store. You design things for people, and you have ready-made pieces as well.
We do. We have a
correct?
lot of estate jewelry as well.
Great. So people can come in there and do that. Do you have watches as well?
We have watches. We specialize in bridal and anniversary,
Okay.
which is very big for us. A lot of people want to have their rings redone. We do everything in our premise. We have wonderful master jewelers, so anything that they need to have redone, we do it all on the premise. And our expert employees will evaluate repairs at the counter and give you prices on what might be needed.
And
Very
we
good.
also take items on consignment.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes.
Very good. That is good news for a lot of people who may want to have stuff. And would it be where people may set a certain price that they would like for it, and then someone would come in and maybe offer something different? You go back to them saying, well, this is
Yes.
kind of what we're being offered here. Do you want to go ahead with this or not?
Absolutely. We give them choices. We say, look, if we need the money today, we can sell it right away. If we want to extend it a little bit of length of time, let's try to get you a little bit more money.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's amazing amounts that we can work with clients, and just if they have a little bit of time and patience, and through our buyers, either in our store or out of state, or through our other prospects.
You have a lot of contacts
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
All right. Well, folks, once again, This is the grand reopening of South Bay Jewelry, and this is taking place this Saturday from noon until 4 p.m. over in the Oak Brook Village area. And they're going to have free raffle gifts every hour, free watch batteries for the first 20 folks, and free jewelry cleaning, food, drinks, fun, and all kinds of stuff going on. Maybe bring over some of those pieces you're not too sure about, and they can evaluate those for you. And it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
It should be.
Thank you so much for having us.
Well, I appreciate
We're
this.
so
This was
excited.
great, all the different things that you brought on here. And it's really neat to see the different antique items and the ivory. I remember growing up, my grandmother, you know, in that era, she had a beautiful ivory piece of a Buddhist temple. And, you know, nowadays that's not available. But back then, it was quite neat. And
There's so much more too. I mean, once we get into looking at their treasures, we just evaluated a Mason Brown painting, and
Wow.
we found a beautiful venue for it through one of the auction companies to help one of our residents. So anything of value, we're experts.
great. And as you just said, treasures, and that's what they are
Treasures.
to a lot of people. Well, thank you very much for coming in. Again, grand reopening of South Bay Jewelry this Saturday, March 23rd, beginning at noon. Head on over there and have some fun and take a look around and get in on the raffle prizes, and I think you have a great time. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we'll be right back. We'll learn about the upcoming CCA travel show coming up next.
South Bay Jewelry has established trust and been a confidant in Laguna Woods for over 30 years. It's very scary trying to figure out which of our possessions are valuable, what pieces we should leave to our children, and which ones we should cash out.
For nearly 30 years, we have worked and consulted with our friends in Laguna Woods to help them sort through their possessions, guiding their decision to sell and the legacy to their heirs.
Please visit our new location in Oak Brook Village, just to the right of Marshall's.